If you're planning to start a YouTube channel, maybe you already started a YouTube channel and then maybe you gave up because there are no views or no growth on your YouTube channel. Today in this video, I'll be talking about why YouTube, and the most important, obviously, the question is like, why YouTube? A lot of people will be asking questions like, why not TikTok? Why not Instagram? Why not TikTok? Or, I mean, the Facebook, but more specifically, the YouTube. And there's a trick. In Aside training, obviously, I teach people how to use TikTok to get up and running fast. And there is a keyword fast. If you're more into YouTube, which is a long-term game, and I have my notes, obviously, I'll be sharing a lot of good stuff. And I have a book, actually, wanted to share with you. It's an amazing book that if you really want to win YouTube game, in this book will be great value. So why YouTube, how to start a YouTube, and how to use YouTube. Before we get started, I want to share something very important. Have you ever heard about this person? Let me go here and then share with you so that you can see it. Let me go there, and there you go. Share this screen with you. Okay, add. There you go. So his name is Daryl Eves. You can obviously search on YouTube, on Google. This is the guy basically helped millions of creators, more specifically YouTube creators, that helped them get hundreds of thousands of subscribers, millions of subscribers, and actually helped that we know the king of YouTube, Mr. Beast. So he helped Mr. Beast to get, I don't know, more than 300 million subscribers now, and he's still, until these days, Mr. Beast working with Daryl Eve. And I had before going into details, like what I had in mind to share with you, this guy is, if you really wanted to succeed in YouTube, I'm not talking about just, watching YouTube videos, like, consuming the content, but I'm talking about producing the content where you will make money, basically. Promoting your business. It could be independent freight dispatching business. It could be trucking. It could be logistics. Maybe you're a broker. Maybe you're interested in becoming a broker, and then obviously get clients that way. YouTube is a platform, and we're not going into talking about the importance of YouTube, although we'll be talking about why YouTube is very, very important. But we get into the nitty-gritty things. I've been in YouTube since 2018. Right? It's been, I don't know, 5-6 years now. It's been an awesome journey. And in 2022, I met this guy. His name is Daryl Eves. And then again, if you wanted to learn about him, you can definitely do a little bit of a search and look him up. He's an absolutely amazing human being. I was attending what called the Funnel Hacking Live, one of the marketing events in Orlando, Florida. And he was actually one of the keynote speakers, and I had the privilege to talk to him for about 15 minutes, and I got his attention. And by the way, I got his book. I highly recommend picking up this book called YouTube Formula, written by this guy. So if you want to know everything about YouTube, go grab this a book, and then you can learn a lot of things about YouTube. So you are watching this live session. Why YouTube specifically for trucking? A lot of people will be watching, obviously, this live session, and obviously will be watching the recorded version of this live session. There are a lot of people in trucking. There are a lot of people dispatching, and a lot of brokers out there in the trucking. They're attracting shippers, carriers, and carriers obviously attracting shippers, at the same time brokers. But then we have this small segment of the people we call independent freight dispatchers. And these dispatchers obviously have a lot of questions when it comes to marketing. Hey, I have independent freight dispatching business. I wanted to get carriers, and how. And I've been sharing a lot of tactics and strategies, how to use the funnels, the step-by-step funnels, and then you need to have website, you need to have this and that, and people get confused. And the missing aspect or the missing part to getting the carriers is actually driving the traffic. Traffic means you have the system. Then how am I going to fill up this funnel or the customer journey that I have or the website I spend, let's say, maybe this applies to you as well. I spend thousands of dollars building this website, but then, hey, nothing. We're not making any money. We're not getting any carriers or shippers or dispatchers or brokers, or maybe you are doing something else, meaning you are in the business, but you're leveraging or wanted to leverage the YouTube. This is absolutely something to share with you. Maybe you're thinking like, Mal, you don't have millions of subscribers. You don't even have 100,000 subscribers. Like, why? What am I going to like learn from you? There's a lot to learn, obviously, from this. What is it? The live session. I made a lot of mistakes, and I don't want you to make mistakes. And if you really, let me close this, and then we can start talking. And last live session that I did, people were asking the question about like, hey, Kamal, we talked about this and we talked about how to get carriers and we talked about how to start a business, but then we kind of were all over the place. We talked, but it was absolutely amazing. But then you did this video, and then they shared the video with me, said, hey, you shared this video, but then it's underperformed. It's like I was watching it, and I have team members that watching, and then obviously we get like key points. Hey, we need to improve this, or we need to optimize this, or we need to work on a thumbnail, or we need to work on the headline, whatnot. What about the hook and all that good stuff? So I was watching those two videos, and the best performed video was actually the one that was no script, no planning. Planning, nothing. It's just, hey, it's like a casual, hey, I have something to share with you. The reason why I want to share this with you is it's amazing to know this. It's not about how to do stuff. Hey, how to grow a YouTube channel. Go and do this and that, and then obviously you will have some success or something like that. But I think more and more people are interested in how you did it as a creator or as a YouTuber or whatever you want to call. So the best performing videos, what I've seen, and I started seeing that, hey, when I don't do any scripting, it's like, hey, I have in my mind or in my head, I have my experiences. And because of that, hey, this is how I started my YouTube channel, and this is what I learned, and I made this mistake or that mistake, and then I pivoted, I did that, and then I made a lot of mistakes along the way, and then at some point I started gaining attraction from other people that are interested in learning what I have to say. So meaning the videos that no plan whatsoever. It's just like, hey, the title would be this. I want to talk about YouTube. The reason why, because people are interested in YouTube in general, but at the same time, specifically people who are watching the live, they're interested in dispatching and how to get carriers or attract, brokers or carriers attracting shippers. Basically, the client you can change. If you're watching this, maybe you are a carrier, a broker, or maybe you're a business owner, whatever, or what have you. Just you're using the platform to attract, obviously, the potential clients. So the number one thing that I learned from Daryl Eves is, and again, you can do a little bit of research about him, is that there's two categories inside of YouTube that works. Not 20, not 200, just two. One is educational content. The other one is the entertainment content. So this, as you can see, the educational content is all about how-to videos, like tutorials, how to use load boards or how to get clients and how to do this, how to start your YouTube channel or whatever. And then don't be confused. If you're watching this, one of the subscribers or following this, whatever, the content, or you following it on TikTok or the Instagram, you're like, hey, Kamal, you're talking about the carriers and dispatching and trucking, but you're talking about the YouTube. Well, actually, YouTube is the number one platform. How I met with a lot of students and carriers and brokers and shippers all together, right? So this is how I get the business from the people. So in order to get that business, obviously I talk about my business, what I do, how I do it, and I use the platform. So if you're not interested in dispatching, maybe you want to start your trucking company and you're thinking, I don't want to leverage, I don't want to use load boards, but then I want to use platforms and obviously attract shippers. I want to attract the clients. So the YouTube, as I said, coming back to these two categories. One category is educational content. This is where we do tutorials, how to use a load boards, how to use X, Y, and Z. And that category specifically, well, this category has pros and cons. We'll be talking about those. This is what I learned. Yes, you can talk about how-to videos, but your educational content has to be specific. It has to be niche down. Excuse me. Niche down meaning you're talking about specific thing. Specific thing could be like maybe Amazon Relay, or how to sell on Amazon, maybe, or how, like, maybe you into the trucking, but more specifically into starting your brokerage company, or more into like how to get or attract drivers to your carriers, and you just talk about this, and then you're more niche specific. You heard a lot of people or a lot of creators on YouTube that been in business, I don't know, maybe, or on YouTube 5, 6, 10, 15 years, and they're talking about niche down, niche down. And be honest with you, I partially agree. And I did, as you can see, I did that. The growth of the YouTube channel is very, very slow. As I said, I started YouTube channel back in 2018, and I think I posted my first video, or I got my first video Saturday on the first week of January. Can't remember the exact date. That means, it's a first or second, but then it was the first week of January. I remember it was a Saturday. Just, look them up. That was the first view that I got. And then it took obviously from there, I reached 1,000 subscribers, I think within 30 days. The reason why, because I already had a content to share with people, and it resonated with people, and then it just took off, and then it's 10,000 and 20,000. And at some point where I was really busy working on other projects and I wasn't posting, and obviously it slowed down. That was one of the mistakes. I thought, hey, if I can just stop not posting, let me see. Do you have a question? And by the way, if you guys have a question, let me know. Mian said, hey, how are you? Can you answer my question, please? Sure. If you have a question, let me know. So then obviously it's like I was posting and channel was growing. Like, as I said, 10,000 to 20,000 to 30,000 and 40,000. And as soon as we reached the 40,000, and then I just, focused on another thing, and I was busy with that specific project, and I was posting here and there, and I realized that, hey, it's a YouTube channel, right? I can park, and then I can come back, and obviously I start uploading, and then views will go up, people start watching, and obviously I would get hundreds of thousands of subscribers. That was the idea. And by the way, that was the number one mistake that I did. So if you're not posting, obviously your YouTube channel is dying. To pick up from where you left is absolutely, I think it's better to start a new YouTube channel and start from there. So coming back to the two categories, very important. If you really wanted to start a YouTube channel, maybe you started a YouTube channel, maybe you did the mistakes that I did, you parked, I'll come back when I have the ideas or whatever the content, then I will start posting. Absolutely don't do that. So you specifically focus on the two categories, and then there is the third category what I realized, what I learned from other people, taking the courses, and a lot of mentors say the exactly same thing. That's what we know is, hey, it could be an educational channel or entertainment. Entertainment, you guys know about the entertainment channel, where you have fun watching, right? If specifically in trucking, there are a lot of people watching like semi-truck crashes, and then it's not about, like, when I say educational and entertainment, educational is obviously clear, how-to videos, as I said, tutorials, like this is an example of educational content. Then entertainment content, it's not only fun, meaning you laugh, you have a really good time, but at the same time, educational content, I mean, the entertainment content could be emotional, meaning watching like uh, I don't know, car crashes, obviously, right? I don't know, people or watching those, content or videos on YouTube. So educational content, if you're going into like more specific niche like trucking, like dispatching, if you are, I want to start my trucking company and I'll teach people how to start, trucking companies, and then I'll put videos how to start your or get your MC, or how to buy your first truck, how to grow your fleet, or how to do your IFTA, or how to whatever. So if you do that specific niche, people get bored watching educational content. If you're not making, those videos, like if you're not entertaining, or not entertaining people, people just don't want to watch. So the third component that I said, or the category that really works, is when you combine. That's what I learned. The combining, meaning you take the educational content, making it fun for people to watch. Now, when you're watching live sessions like this, and obviously you are not going to make it fun, although you can talk about whatever you want, but then there's limited ability to edit the videos when you're doing the live. But then there's advantages and disadvantages. That means there are pros and cons when it comes to doing the YouTube live session specifically. Now, there's three types of content when it comes to producing. If you're a carrier, if you're a dispatcher, if you're a business owner, if you're just planning to start your YouTube channel, and there are three different types of videos. That means one is a long form videos. It could be long form video up to like from 5 minutes up to, I don't know, up to a 30 minutes or something like that. I'm not going to talk about the 40 minutes, although you can do the 40 minutes video, but then averaging long form video on YouTube is about between 12 and 18 minutes. So sweet spot is about like 15 minutes video. So that's what people watch if they prefer to watch, let's say, how-to videos or tutorials, or even the entertainment. So then obviously shorts is very popular. People just nowadays using tools like Opus Clips, and then they put, or Opus Clip, I think the name of the software, is an AI tool. They're taking long form video and then they're just pasting into that software, and it just pulls, I don't know, 30, 40 short snippets of that long form video. And then obviously in watching, posting those videos for people to watch. So I think here's a trick is, or a tactic that people are using, is this short snippet of the long form video is just linked to a long form video, for example. So if you made a video, I'll give you an example, 15 minutes talking about how to use load boards, or if you're a carrier, maybe you're attracting shippers and you talking about how you started, your business, or just, talking to your driver, and then you just recording that video and you're posting on YouTube, and it's, let's say it's 20-minute video, then you take that link and then put into the software, and obviously it just, gives you the snippets, and then you link those videos to this long form video. So the snippets could be anywhere between 15 seconds, 20 seconds video, and then people will be watching, right? And then YouTube will be promoting your videos, meaning short form content, shorts, right? And then on that specific video, that will be like, hey, if you want to like watch the longer video, there will be a title of that video. They click and then they easily go to the long form video and like, oh, okay, if they need more information, they'll be watching that specific video. So let me Road Savvy says, what made you choose YouTube over platforms or other platforms like TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, obviously, and then when you first started? Well, that's a great question. Thank you for asking this question. So when I started back in 2018, but then obviously, if you guys know, the YouTube became popular back in 27, 28. 2008, 2007 when it popped up, and in 2008, 2009, this is how YouTube became popular. Obviously, people were watching videos. That means there were a lot of consumers, meaning consuming the content, but not producers, meaning the making the content, right? So not many people were making the content, but there a lot of people were watching YouTube videos, and then people started vlogging and sharing, and then people were interested in this is how the YouTube got bigger and bigger. So back then, I can't remember that we had TikTok back then, but we had the Facebook came up, right, along with the the YouTube. Then obviously the Instagram. So when I was watching on YouTube, obviously the platform everyone loves, which is YouTube, the entertainment. If you want to learn something, we go to YouTube. When I was a student at Georgia State University, and then I want to share something, learn something, I go to YouTube, how to do this and how to do calculus, or I want to solve this problem, and then videos will pop up. I'll start watching. So first thing first, that I love this platform, which is YouTube, right? That was a number one decision that I made. And then videos, specifically like long form videos, meaning 10, 15 minutes videos, watching, it was absolutely the second important thing that made my decision. What helped me to make that decision to be on this platform was obviously, and you had this question, I'll come back to this question. But as I said, the watching the longer videos. And third decision, the third component that really helped me to make that decision is because it's evergreen videos. So if I do this, let's say live today, right, talking about the how to use YouTube platform for your trucking business or for your dispatching business, obviously will be evergreen. As long as YouTube is there, people will be watching the this video, right? It will obviously will get a lot of views and attractions, and people will be interested in obviously watching and then working with us. That was basically the factors that I considered when I started YouTube channel. So do you need a fancy equipment to start, or can you grow with just a phone? Well, that's what a lot of people, I think, stop not producing. It's just like consuming the content on YouTube. Although a lot of friends and families that I talk to, they want to start the YouTube channel. I think the perfectionism is like, hey, if I have this equipment, let's say the Sony, or I want to have this Canon new released equipment, or the camera, or the DSLR, the whatever, the fancy equipment, it's out there. But then what I did is I just bought till these days I'm using this Brio Logitech webcam, and I just start talking. Obviously a lot of people using the phone, the iPhone, and producing the content. They're really great channel out there if you wanted to watch videos. They're called Think Media. They have the tagline saying that, hey, if you really wanted to start your YouTube channel, just press and record. That's the short tagline that they have. It's like press record, right? You just need to start and start talking. A lot of people obviously get embarrassed, I think, in my opinion. I have a lot of students that they know the importance of YouTube, but then for some reasons, obviously they get embarrassed, like, hey, I don't want to show my face. I feel, I don't know, X, Y, and Z. I don't want to do it. My friends and families will be watching this video. To me, it's like very interesting. Like, man, I have friends and families. They will be watching, obviously, the content that I'm producing. So to me, it's like, what's stopping those people? Like when I was starting back in 2018, it's like, hey, I want to talk about trucking. Although I just started my trucking business, it was like a year or 2 years into the business, not knowing a lot of things about the trucking industry, or not knowing a lot of things about the tech that involved to produce the content and share with the people, and obviously say, hey, I can help you this and that, then you need to deliver on those promises. I didn't know that. So Abdul says, let me pull this real quick, says, I wanted to learn the business. Can you please, guide me? Absolutely. So if you have a specific question in mind, let me know, and then I'll do my best to help. Now, coming back to the importance of what I learned about the YouTube is the categories. First category is educational content, and then the second one was the entertainment content. But then the best performing videos, what I saw, and then people who are really scaling with YouTube is when they're combined. That means there should be an overlap if you're doing like how-to videos, recording how-to videos. More specifically, if you have the ability to edit the videos, right? On live, you can edit. You just like press, start talking, and then people will be watching. If they're interested, they will stay with you. If they're not interested, they will click away and then watch other videos. Been hundreds of thousands of videos out there that people, can watch. And as you can see, like in average, 5 people watching this live, then they go, they come back. But then what we're interested in more into like, hey, people will be watching recorded version of this video. So what you also can do if you're just doing, let's say, YouTube live sessions, for example, you can post a video, then obviously download, and you can have the ability to edit, and then you can post or make the long form video and then post. So I have another idea what I'll be doing, and I learned recently from one of my friends that he's also a YouTuber, let's say, quote unquote. He said that he will be combining his YouTube live sessions that performs the best. Then he will be combining those videos. So he had about like 6 videos, averaging about like 2 hours long. But he has a great content, hundreds of thousands of views. What he thought about, like the idea is just, hey, I'll be just putting the chronological order, then I will be editing, adding like transitions and the headline or whatever. Then I will make it long form video. So if he has about like 6 videos, right, and then each video is about like 2 hours long, so he has about 10 hours of the content he will be posting on YouTube. I was like, really, like 10 hours of the content, and it will pull out that and said, yes, there are a lot of people searching for, let's say, a specific niche, like how to start a trucking business or how to start a dispatching business. And people actually, when they start watching the video, they actually hate to watch the 10 to 15 minutes video because they're more into learning, right? So I want to learn this. If it's put it the right way, that means if the chronological order, right? So what is dispatching, how to start a business, and then how to get carriers and how to make money, and then the tools that we need to use inside the trucking or the dispatching, and people watch 5 hours in 10 hours. And now you can see that more and more creators putting that content on YouTube. You can see that 6 hours of a training, free training, 10 hours, and you can even have like 6 hours of content, like back to back. That means there's a playlist of like 6 hours, 10 hours, 7 hours, and then like you'll be sitting there watching for, I don't know, for years. So now coming back to the long form video, obviously there's a short, right, or shorts. And then, short meaning short form content like snippets, right? Long form video could be, as I said, if we take an average, it should be a 15-minute video. That's considered long form video, specifically on YouTube. I think that's the average number, like 12 minutes on YouTube, to consider like a long form video, because some people post like 1 minute video, 2 minutes video, and then some people, hours long. And then that's, I think, how they came up with like 12 minutes. That's the average. And actually, Daryl Eves talks about the YouTube formula on this book, that it's averaging about like 15 minutes, the people making the long form video. So this 15-minute video, it's more attractive for a person who wants to learn like how-to video, meaning educational content, how to start your YouTube channel, how to do shorts on YouTube, or how to start tracking business, or how to use a load board in 2015, or 2025. So that is the 15-minute video, the long form video. Then shorts, what I realize is people watching about between 20 seconds and up to like 40 seconds in between. The best performing videos I have are like 27 seconds, 30 seconds video on like specifically shorts. So then we have live session like this, and then people obviously misunderstood. That's when first released, and I was one of them. And then Daryl Eve talks about, on the YouTube formula book, talking about the YouTube Live is more specifically for your subscribers or people who are watching your content constantly. So about 5 people watching, as I said, averaging, right? Watching YouTube live. Let's say when we do on Sunday, 12 p.m. Obviously, people have, it's a weekend. People have fun. People out there, or spending time with their families. They're not into YouTube maybe, but then we have some people that watching. So averaging about like 5 people on Sundays, and then we do Thursdays 12 p.m. and then we average about like 20 people watching. Right? During the day, it's understandable, whatnot. So then the YouTube live is more specifically for your subscribers. So that Daryl Eves talks about in this book, saying that, hey, you should be doing YouTube live. It's not about creating easy content. That means you just start, press and record, and just talk, and then you just end, post. That's it. Video is there, right? No editing, nothing like that. And just know this: if you're going to do YouTube live specifically, you're not going to do like editing the videos, like long form videos, and chopping those videos down and then creating short snippets and then sharing that video that way. If you're just using the YouTube live, this is where I realize I made the mistake where I was just doing the live, thought, oh, okay, people just watching these videos. And then new subscribers also will be interested in trucking. They will, join us. And then that's how I grow the YouTube channel. And I was wrong. Why? Well, because of the 80-20 principle. That means 20% of the subscribers, and again, the 80-20 principle comes like it's basically pops up everywhere. 80% of the people who are watching the YouTube content, I'm talking about specifically my YouTube channel. If you have a YouTube channel, you can check it out. You will see that 80% of the people who are watching the content, they're not subscribers. They're maybe watching here and there, or those people is just like came to your YouTube channel, they watch a couple of videos, and they're not interested, and they left. 20% of the people who subscribe to your channel is the 20% that needs the live sessions. That means this is like tailored content specifically for the subscribers in mind. That means most of you are watching the live right now. You maybe either, well, for example, Abdul, what I see is Mian also, I do see that they're like subscribers, right? So that really proves the concept that, hey, YouTube live is more specifically for subscribers. Why? Because they've been they've been with you for a long time. They've been watching your YouTube videos. They know about you. They know the niche that you are in, specifically trucking, right? And more specifically, you talk about dispatching, and people wanted to start the dispatching business, and they know that if I go, let's say, do live on weekend, on let's say on Sunday 12 p.m. Eastern time, that I'll be talking about dispatching. No, but hey, I'll just go there and watch the live session. New viewers, or the people who don't know anything about my business or anything about my channel or anything about the niche that I in, or the topic that I'm interested in sharing with you all, they're like, they don't care because they don't know me, and then they don't know, most of them, they don't even know what is dispatching, right? So make sure that if you're going to do the live, don't make this mistake. Live is more specifically tailored to your subscribers. But the long form videos, this is what I see on my analytics, that long form videos brings more subscribers because these people are interested in making money, not the dispatching, but they're interested in making money. And this is how the YouTube kind of started recommending people. And by the way, this is very important to understand this. YouTube recommends your videos, and then also people show your videos to those people who are watching specific keywords. Very important. So if you're not into dispatching, whatever you want to do, want to start your dispatching, you start your YouTube channel, know this, that YouTube either shows for the people who are searching for the content, right? I'll give you an example. And then obviously the YouTube recommends your videos to the people. So first aspect, where the people searching, they're searching like how to, right? How to do X, Y, and Z, how to import from Alibaba or from China, or how to X, Y, and Z. You just put your niche if you wanted to. How to find carriers, or how to use load boards. This how to, obviously, when you search, people start searching, and this is how YouTube recommends your video, saying, hey, here you go, here is the video, is like that talks about whatever the keywords that you're searching for. Recommending this is, see, when searching, you need to optimize your videos like for search engine optimization, right? So you need to do SEO, meaning the description, the title, the keywords, and everything goes into in thumbnails as well, goes into like the search, meaning how to, a lot of keywords. Like when you see YouTube video, or watching a YouTube video, talks about how to start YouTube channel, and then they're talking about like, hey, you need to optimize this and title and description and keywords and how to. If you are doing that, then you basically will solely rely on the people who are searching for that specific content. For example, I do see a lot of people searching dispatching, trucking. They're also searching for how to dispatch or how to find carriers for my dispatching business. When I know this, that people searching for that keywords, and then I'm making specific videos saying, hey, how to use load boards or how to find carriers. And you will see that this video will pop up along other people also posting these videos. But hey, if you did a really good job in creating that video, YouTube will show that video to those people who are searching. Now the question is, when you say good video, the good video is actually well crafted means if people watching the video that you created for whatever the content you created, okay, so just call it in trucking or whatever the business is, right? So you crafted 10-15 minutes video. First 30 seconds of that video, what I learned is the most important aspect is the 30-second video. That means within that 30-second video, you will see that if you have a YouTube channel, or if you're going to have a YouTube channel, you will see that there will be a graph saying that, hey, from 100% to 0%, and then you will see that first 30 seconds, most of my videos, they're like on specifically live videos, this is like significant drop. First 10 seconds. Why? Because when you start YouTube, live sessions, YouTube started promoting, right? It's just like opening the gate a little bit wider to like pushing that YouTube the YouTube session, live session specifically, to see if other people will be interested in watching this. And then people just like, oh, seeing the random guy talks about X, Y, and Z, they're like, not interested in, second swiped away and third swiped away. And then YouTube like closes the door, like, hey, no, I think this video more specifically tailored to his subscribers. And as you can see, like averaging 5 people watching this, and it's like, okay, we need to show more of this video to his subscribers. That means your YouTube sessions more, as I said, tailored, it will be shown to your subscribers. And this graph within like 30 seconds, first 30 seconds of your video, I think to me it's like more important, like these 10 seconds. And this is one of the reasons why, specifically in the entertainment niche, take Mr. Beast, is like within like 10 seconds, he basically explains the video, right? Hey, in this video, we'll be doing X, Y, and Z, boom, 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 boom. Within 10 seconds, we'll go, oh, wow, I want to watch this. Well, it's easy for him because it's the entertainment, right? We're just watching, we're not learning, we're just having fun, right? But on the educational channel, this is where we're like, hey, it's kind of boring. Yes, I totally agree. And as I said, that was one of the mistakes that I did, is like I confined myself into one specific niche, like trucking. Not many people are interested in trucking. And it's really, it's kind of demotivating when you do in live. People come and people leave. It's like, are they interested? And they're not interested in the topic that I'm sharing with you. And then obviously keep in mind that, hey, there will be more people watching your content afterwards. That means when you post your video, there will be hundreds of thousands of people watching. One of my live sessions back in, I think it was like 2023, got almost 200 or 300,000 views. It was just a live session. And when I was doing that live session, specifically how to find carriers, I remember, I think there was about 3 people watching. And I was like, people not interested in, trucking, people not interested in dispatching. And then I realized that, oh, wow, more and more people started watching. And then that one single video gained, hundreds of thousands of subscribers. So that was hundreds of thousands of views. So now let's take a couple of questions and then we continue. Before I let me take this. I think we got this one. Okay, Road Savvy says, how long did it take before you started seeing real growth on YouTube channel? Well, Road Savvy, you asking great questions. Thank you. So first 1,000 subscribers was I think the first 100 was the hardest, right? I was posting, I think, about 20, or if I'm not mistaken, about 20, 30 videos. And what I realized is just like people just subscribing and unsubscribing, people subscribing and unsubscribing. I'm like, man, people don't want to listen to you. And these are the voices that was in my head, or were in my head is like, man, and with my broken English, they want to listen. So I think when I posted more than 50 videos, close to about 60 videos or something like that, this is what I saw, like hundreds of subscribers per day. It's not about like in one day we will just like pick up and go exponentially, the exponential growth that we will see. It's like, you know, over the months and years, it just slowly picks up, and then it goes a little bit faster. That's what I realized. It's not just like, slow, nothing, boom, there is growth. No, absolutely not. It's just like goes slowly, very slowly. I think this is where the YouTube is like wanted to know, like, are you serious about, in simple words, right? Are you serious about this? Because it's YouTube, it's very serious business, obviously. So, and the most important thing I think YouTube want to see, the consistency. Are you consistent? Are you willing to be consistent, posting constantly? Right off the get, it, to me, is the number one problem: consistency. Right? Why? Well, life can happen. A lot of things can happen in your life, and then you're not consistent, and because of that, obviously, the views are dropped, and obviously, subscribers leaves you, and then you will see that you demotivated, and then obviously. Uh, that's how you could affect it by the results if you're result driven. But what I realized, there is one of my mentors, his name is Myron Golden. He said that post 100 videos and detach yourself from the results. It's just 100 videos, detach yourself from results, and you won't have a money problem in your life forever. Just commit to that. And that's it. You will see the growth. And when I started, obviously, when I doing the live session and creating videos, I personally detach myself from the views I get, from the number of people who are watching. So if not a lot of people, and here is the interesting part. When a couple of people watching, you are demotivated. Like, people they're not interested in what I have to share with them. And on the flip side, when hundreds of people watching, you get excited, and you get like, I don't know, in panic mode, and you can't deliver, right? Because hundreds of people watching. I had that on my TikTok when I first started doing the live, and then what I realized is like, oh wow, it's, man, not many people watching, right? It's, no, I'm not interested in this. I'm not gonna do live because people don't interest. I'm not interested. But then when I started doing more and more, this is what I realized, that hundreds of people doing watching the live that I have. The sharing the live sessions on TikTok. One session specifically, remember, I got about 900 people watching. Something happened, and I don't have that anymore, but then averaging about like 150 people, 250 people, but then I had like 900 people watching, and I'll be honest with you, I just got so nervous, and I forgot what I'm allowed to share with those people. I'm like, well, thank you for joining me, and I was like, I lost control, and I was like, wow. So obviously, as you can see, there's some pros and cons, right? If there's 5 people watching, you're like, why? So, and then there's like hundreds of people watching you, like, oh wow, what should I do? You are in a panic mode. So I think over time, you just like let go. You're not result driven, although analytics are very, very important. So that was the real growth. What I see is just when I posted like more than 100 videos. So I have close to 400 videos right now that I posted, including shorts and long form videos, and obviously live sessions. But what I realize is that when you cross 100 videos, this is where you see the real growth happening. Real growth is like In terms of like, are we talking in terms of the subscribers you have or the number of subscribers? Excuse me. Are we talking about the watch time? Are we talking about the views? So this is very important. A lot of people think that if I get hundreds of thousands, even millions of subscribers, then I have a real business. It could be maybe a truth, maybe it's not. Why? Well, I have a lot of people that they have millions of subscribers, let's say 2 million, 5 million, and they're making about, let's say, I don't know, maybe 10K a month or 15K a month or something like that. And then I know personally people who are, let's say, 20,000, maybe 15,000 subscribers, and then have really good business that they're making millions of dollars per year. So it all depends. So if you have the millions of subscribers, some people that are interested in seeing your content, whatever, they're not taking any actions on your videos. What I mean by saying they're not taking any action on your videos, well, listen, if I'm talking about the how to start dispatching business, but then obviously I'm promoting what I have. Hey, I have courses or coaching programs, something like that. If they're not interested, if they're just watching the style, maybe they like the style of your videos or something like that, something resonated, these people that watching your content, but they're not interested in investing with you, and because of that you're making less money, let's say. In an ad revenue, advertisers obviously and marketers won't spend a lot of money on your channel because not many people watching your content. That means your watch time is down and then your reviews are down. So for example, what I realized, I thought, hey, if I have the watch time, I mean the views will go up, then at the same time my watch time will go up. What I realized is no, it flopped. Is actually I get more views than the watch time decreased. I'm like, why is that? So obviously, reading this YouTube formula, what I realized is that, hey, when you start posting, let's say live, even if it's like 2 hours long, 3 hours long, it doesn't matter. The important indicator here is the duration. What they called is average duration, meaning if you have a, let's say, 1 hour video or 2 hours video, specifically on YouTube live sessions that I have, averaging about like 5 to 6 minutes. Imagine 2 hours of session talking about really good stuff, let's say starting a trucking business or dispatching business or a business in general, talking about the sales and marketing. And then you have an average about like 5 minutes. Like that means some people watch, I don't know, 10, 15 seconds of that video. Some people watch maybe, I don't know, 6, 7, or 10 minutes. And because of that, your YouTube videos or live sessions not recommended, and YouTube not pushing your videos to the masses. And this is why your watch time is decreased. When your watch time is decreased, and obviously advertisers don't spend. If you wanted to make money off of YouTube, let's say from an ad revenue more specifically. So if you're into, hey, I want to make money from YouTube and more specifically from ad revenue, and obviously this is where you need to watch time. That means a lot of people need to watch your videos, and then the average video duration is very, very important. A lot of things, goes into this. Meaning, if the person wants to watch longer, that means they have to see your video along other, let's say, hundreds of videos on the channel, and then your video should pop up. How it pops up, it's because of the thumbnail. So if you design the thumbnail the right way, and then they will see the thumbnail first, then they will look at what is it, the title, and then they will click. So if they click, then your first 30 seconds or even 10 seconds is the important, meaning that your first obviously 10 seconds leads to the 30 seconds, and obviously people stay. That means if people stay for about 30 seconds, then this is the YouTube algorithm kicks in and says, hey, this video is awesome, we need more people to watch this video, right? So and that's one of the reasons why people kind of have like 10 to 15 videos. Now you will see that averaging about like 8-minute video. The reason why they do is because they want to get the average view duration, so that so YouTube can start recommending those videos, and then they will get more subscribers and obviously watching other videos like 30 minutes video or 2 hours video or 3 hours or 10 hours, whatever. That's the tactic that these YouTube or the other YouTube creators who have, let's say, millions of subscribers. That's how they grow their YouTube channel. So average view duration is very, very important. And again, if you want to make money, the watch time should be, hundreds of thousands. And you can have hundreds of thousands of views, but then your average, your watch time will decrease. The reason why it happened on my channel more specifically, because I was doing more shorts, like 10 seconds, 15 seconds, and obviously people watch, and then shorts was pushed, thousands of people watching. But again, see, it's like 10 seconds, 15 seconds, right? Even you have like hundreds of thousands of views, but it's not your average view duration decreased, obviously, and at the same time watch time decreased. So let me take this. Can you share me a complete tutorial about this business, because I'm new? Complete tutorial, what do you mean when you say complete tutorial? Like from start to finish? That's where the courses and mentorship comes in. This is where you can also watch the videos that I have on this channel. You can go and watch how to use load boards, or how to start, or where do I start. One of the best performing videos that I have is like, hey, where do I start? Like, I'm new, so go watch those videos. So if you're interested, and obviously there will be coaching, and then obviously mentorship programs that you can start from there. So Rhodes Heavy says, what's important? Like views. I think we talked about a little bit about this: views, subscribers, or watch time. I think the most important aspect here is the views. You need to get views so that your watch time increases. But views and watch time, what I learned, is very important, right? But watch time is significantly important when it comes to like average view duration. Because of this average view duration, YouTube will be recommending more, and then you will get more subscribers. So it's kind of everything tied down together. That's what I realized over the years. But hey, if nobody watches your, obviously, the videos that you post, meaning if there's no views, you don't get watch time. So this is why I said like watch time. The view is very important, watch time, and then obviously subscribers, to me, I think is less important. The reason why I say, because 80% of the people, I'm not saying that these people are not important, don't take me wrong. Thank you for those people who are watching and obviously subscribe to this channel. It's just basically a proof that, hey, there are some people that are interested in this business, whatever, but then 80% of the people, they're not subscribed. They're just watching the channel. That's it. But then, hey, they could become your subscribers. But then, subscribers, it's the proof that, hey, your content is like a proven. Let's say that you're on the right track, right? So let's say it's a proven concept. Let's say, so hey, I'm talking about the dispatching, and I have like 10,000 subscribers. Oh, okay, that's it, right? Objective is complete. The reason why it's like 10,000 people interested, that means hundreds of thousands of people can become your subscribers, and then potentially maybe wanted to do business with you. So AliCraft says, what are the first steps to starting a successful YouTube channel as a beginner? Awesome. So I think I know AliCraft personally. So what are the first steps to starting YouTube channel? Well, I think the keyword here is a successful YouTube channel. First thing first is it's picking a niche. And again, as you can see, I think this is by default when people creating these YouTube videos and then fall into this. Like, hey, you pick a niche, but then niche, don't narrow down your niche. And we'll talk about specifically about the niche. Okay, so if you wanted to start a successful YouTube channel, if I go back, and then I'll share all the mistakes that I did over the years. But if I wanted to start, the first thing first, I wanted to create the content first. I want to start the content first. That means I plan the content, right? Meaning you get the materials, then you build the house. Obviously, you have the plan in mind that you wanted to build a 2-story house, and then you buy the material, right? Well, obviously, you have the land. The land means you're building your business off of YouTube. So land is there. Then you need to, have the material first in order to build strong house or beautiful house, whatever you want to call it. But then the successful YouTube channel, this is how I, will start. If I have a new channel, let's say if I have the idea to start a YouTube channel, I'll create first 100 videos. I'm not gonna post. Why? Well, it basically gives you the ability to create in advance and then don't fall into this procrastination, right? Hey, the consistency will be there when you start uploading. That means you have what the YouTube needs from you, meaning the videos, right? And then you'll be pushing those videos. Let's say 100 videos, you can divide, hey, how many videos you are going to post each week. Let's say some people post 3 times per week, some people post every single day. I don't know if that works for them, but for some reason, some channels get millions of views, millions of subscribers because of that, posting every single day. But I think it's challenge even posting in one video per week. So if we start one video per week, right, and then if you can do one live session, that basically leads you to the success, right? So you have the videos that you already recorded and it's there, but the niche is very important. First, you pick a niche. For example, as I can see, Ali Craft is more interested in gaming. That could be a gaming channel. But when you're starting a gaming channel, then know that the ad revenue, the money you will be making from your videos, although you will be getting more hundreds of or even millions of views and then even millions of subscribers, that people will be interested in watching whatever the videos you'll be posting in game industry, for example, or the niche. But then if you look up, I think the gamers get the least amount of the, what is it? This cost per mile, I think it's called the CPM, cost per mile, I think, or meal, cost per meal, or something like. Can't remember. As you can see, I'm still learning, right? So the CPM on YouTube is very, very important. So the most amount of money made, the people who are making, let's say, in finance, in business, talks about entrepreneurship, those people making the most CPM, that is most money. So if you're in gaming, that means this is an entertainment channel. Usually entertainment channels, they make less money, but then, hey, they get millions of views, hundreds of, thousands of subscribers, or even millions of subscribers, right? Whoops. So have those videos ready. So that means inconsistency is out of the game. You have already 100 videos. So the second important point here is that, hey, the real growth happens after 100 videos, right? So you have this 100 videos, that's it. So the consistency is just there already. And then obviously we have the 100 videos. Two things very important for YouTube. Then what I will do, it's basically just schedule those videos and then post, and at the same time every week we will be doing the YouTube live sessions, right, talking to your subscribers. And this is how you grow. That's, in my opinion, I would say in my humble opinion, how you can start your YouTube channel. So let me take another question from Ali Craft. He says, before starting YouTube channel, should I go with the entertainment channel or the educational one, and why? Awesome, great questions, Ali. So here's the thing. If we talked about the the educational channel and the entertainment channel, that if you pick an educational channel, obviously it's boring. Let's be honest. Let's talk about this. We are human being more inclined towards the entertainment, right? We are not into like learning. Why? Learning is boring. That's what we know, right? It's, if we agree on this, it basically solves a huge problem for us. So if you're more into teaching, although it's boring, you talk about business, but then you start about how to do this, and you show your screen, you share your screen. Not many people are interested in this, but more people are interested in entertainment. So to answer your question is, should I start an educational channel or the entertainment channel? It's all up to you. Let's say if I don't know you personally, although I know you personally. So if you are like, hey, I'm more into entertainment, but then what type of a content you're thinking to produce? For example, on gaming channel, can you make it fun? It's all about the ability that you have on like the entertainment. I have maybe the ability of entertaining by educating people, but I can't just jump here and then make whatever dancing, or it's not my type, right? I can, although I can do that, but I don't want to do that. Why? Because it's not me, right? Me, it's like more of a like being into a expert, teaching this, doing this, or being looking professional or something like that. So entertainment, you can definitely, if you just mix these together. There's an educational channel, obviously, making it fun for people to watch. Man, this is where you will see the real results. So that's, I think, the main reason why I say, because some people interested in learning, but they get bored easily. So if you can make it fun, right? They're like, hey, anecdotes here and there, and then jokes. If you can do that, so as you can see, like I don't know, last 5 years, I can't make jokes. It's just like, hey, me, there's professional channel. Hey, here's an expertise that I have, and I'm sharing this. It's about money, it's about business, it's about attracting clients, whatnot. So, and at the same time, if your channel is more of a like, I don't know, it's fun, it's entertaining, whatever, but then you're attracting those types of people to your channel, and obviously, if that entertaining channel is more wanted to like turn that channel into a business so that you can make money, think in advance that what type of people will be attracting from that channel specifically. Very important to think in advance. I think that was one of the reasons why I said that, hey, plan ahead and just think about what am I going to share with people. So in my case, when I started YouTube channel back in 2018, and I started posting actually on 2019, like next year, so or the following year. So and I was like, hey, I know dispatching. I have a trucking business. Why not posting these contents and see what happens? So it was very niche specific from the beginning. There's a pros and cons. Pros is one of them is there are specific people interested in what you have to say, dispatching, right? There are people already searching, watching, and then it'll be like some of the videos or types of videos will pop up, right? And then it's just take off. What are those? In my specific situation, there's load board training videos. Load board training videos are like performing the best, right? Why? Well, it makes sense because you're talking about the dispatching and people wanted to know that's the number one tool that they use day in, day out in their business. So logically makes sense to make more those types of videos. Now there's a challenge. Now more and more people watching on the mobile devices, right? Phone. On my channel, about 86%, what I saw today, people watching on mobile phones, right? Not on, let's say, computers. Well, there is a channel. Why? Because challenge. Well, when I do like recording the video and then doing a tutorial, it's hard for people to see what am I talking about here specifically. Hey, search loads, and I click that, click here, and it's like font is small, and then people need to zoom in to see. And there's a challenge, although or despite that challenge, people still watching those videos. And as I said, best performing videos are the YouTube. The the load board training videos. Now, when you make those videos and people used to see more and more load board training, when you start talking about different, meaning like, hey, for example, this types of videos, like YouTube channel, start a YouTube channel to attract carriers, and people think that, hey, he's pivoting, right? He's moving from one niche to another niche. Although this is how I met most of my students, and obviously the carriers and, let's say, potential customers. So it's a platform where I connect with potential buyers or clients. And for those people who want to just learn and get some information, obviously they get the information they need, right? So very important. Before starting YouTube channel, you just know that, hey, you have two categories, educational and entertainment. Which one should I pick, right? If this is a gaming channel, am I going to teach people, for example, how to play Call of Duty, for example, Battle Royale or something like that, right? So if you want to teach that, then you can go into the education, right, aspect, like how to or tutorials. Or the entertainment is just you playing and you having fun, and then people just with you having fun and watching. But I think the best bet it will be like combining these two, how to and education combined, and there is an overlap, and in something in between. That what you are looking for, right? That's what you need to go after. So those are the reasons, Ali. Okay, let me take Mile Muradov, and I know him personally too. So I wanted to rewind back a couple minutes. Okay, I disagree on a topic. What is important? What is important? Views, awesome. Subscribers and watch time. Okay, is your subscribers are the ones that are actually getting you views and more watch time? So there is a disagreement. Okay, that's cool, awesome. Is your are my subscribers the ones that are actually getting you the views? Okay, so we talked about, I think maybe you missed that part where I said the most views coming from the people who are watching, but they're not subscribed. But it doesn't mean that these people are not following me, but they're simply like, maybe we can just think about this yourself, how many channels you just follow, but then you're not to follow, but then you'll be more interested in watching the videos from that creator. Maybe you know that creator personally, but you're not subscribed to. I don't know, there are many reasons, but then I watch videos. I'll give you an example. I think the what is it, CEO of a journal CEO or something like that. Can't remember exactly, but he has a podcast, and he pops up here and there. I watched, I don't know, maybe hundreds of hours of the content when I drive, when I travel, whatever. I just want to listen for that podcast, but then I'm not subscribed to. And I have a lot of, let's say, I'll give you an example, gaming channels that I'm interested in, let's say Call of Duty, and I just watch here and there, but then I'm not subscribed to. But so the views are coming from the 80% of the people. I think those are the people, like new people that first discovered your channel, and then obviously these people were just, they know you personally, that this creator talks about dispatching, and those people who are watching, 80% of those people who are not subscribed, by the way, and they're interested in what I'm about to say or what I have to share with them. So to answer your question, the subscribers are getting you the views. Subscribers definitely gives you the views that you need. And for example, when I first post any videos, let's say live or shorts or any type of content that I push, right? And first, my subscribers get notified, and then the first chunk of, like, let's say views comes from the current subscribers. And then from that, YouTube decides, okay, should we like open up the gate a little bit more and then push this video to the masses and see how many people are interested, or how many people could be potential subscribers. So in general, views are coming when you have a really good, let's say, thumbnail and a headline. Why I say this? Well, because if you have a fluffy, let's say, not good, well designed headline, I mean the thumbnail and the headline, even your subscribers won't click on that video. So maybe or also could be like, hey, he talked about how to find box truck owners, and he maybe particular group of people already watch a lot of videos, and then they're not interested, right? A lot of people not interested maybe on YouTube. They're like, I'm not into YouTube, I don't care. But then people who are interested in YouTube, they're watching. So to answer your question again, as I said, more views are coming from the 80% of the people who are not subscribed, but it doesn't mean that they don't know anything about me, right? So most of those people, they know something about me or watch a couple of videos. So maybe you're thinking about the new coming viewers that never discovered my channel in the first hand. They usually, if they land on a really good video, then it will just stick, and then it will start bench watching, and then that's how I get the views, let's say. But then if they're like, oh, what he's talking about, like, I don't know, dispatching, anything like that, boom, swipe away and never come back. Okay, hope that helps. So let me take this question real quick, and we've been talking about hour and 10 minutes. That's good. So, what's one mistake you made early on with YouTube that you would avoid now? Wow, great questions, Road Savvy. Thank you. So, one of the most important aspect that I want to share with you guys, that the number one mistake that I made is I picked very specific niche on my YouTube channel. Very specific niche means dispatching. I could have done it a little bit differently, meaning even if the niche is transportation, right? So what I learned from other people when I was starting early on into this YouTube game, what I learned is that people were started saying that, hey, you need to like niche down, narrow down, niche down, narrow down, and that's where you will be making money. So niche down means, okay, I was thinking about transportation and there's a reason why. Why? Well, because I know something about transportation. I have a trucking company, and this is why I'm interested in, producing these types of content, right? So transportation, and then not enough. You have to narrow down, right? In transportation, we'll be talking millions of things, but narrow down. Okay, narrow down more specifically. Okay, let's talk about the trucking, right? So then I picked trucking. That's even more niche, right? And then I start talking about, let's say, trucking, and I have a trucking business. And then I started, talking about the dispatching. That means even more niche down. So then I stick with that niche for about a year or so. Then I realized that, hey, I'm getting some attraction. But the only reason why I was getting attraction, is very, very important, is because it was a little bit not narrowed down niche yet. Why? And here's why. Niche specific, which is dispatching, and I narrowed down even more specific, and I said independent freight dispatching agency. Not many people were talking about independent, freight dispatching. In fact, when I was started talking about the independent freight dispatching, and then I didn't find any videos on the internet talking about being an independent freight owner of the independent freight dispatching, agency. More people were talking about working remotely because of the COVID, whatnot. But then the independent, meaning that word specifically, was something new to the industry, and this is where a lot of people started, following and then joining the community, whatnot. So independent freight dispatching. Now we're talking about the independent freight dispatching. It's narrowed down, yet there's a small specific niche. And here is the mistake. When you start talking about specifically independent freight dispatching, you're not allowed, right? In your head, not allowed to talk about different things. So you start asking questions like, Kamal, you are not only about independent freight dispatching business, right? You're interested in other businesses. For example, I'm interested in right? E-commerce business. I'm interested in travel business. I'm interested in import export business. I've done import export business, but then why am I talking only independent freight dispatching agency? Because I made a mistake and I started this channel more specifically independent freight dispatching. And as soon as you start pivoting from this to another niche, people will leave, and then people won't, trust you. And it's like, well, you're jumping from, one spot to another spot, and then you're changing here and there, and then they won't follow you. Well, you will have diehard, whatever, the fans or top fans, that people love you, and then they will be following you, whatever you're up to. It doesn't matter. But then it's a huge mistake, in my opinion, that you're specifically talking about the one niche. So imagine yourself, you have a life, you have travel, I'm assuming, right? A lot of people love travel, meaning all of us, I think, love to travel. And obviously we love money. We love, talk about the money, how to make money, how to save money, how to grow money. We'll love investing. Business, maybe trucking. We love entertainment. Imagine, I can't remember her name. She has really nice YouTube channel. She close to 1 million subscribers now. I started following her when she was, I don't know, 5,000-10,000 subscribers. Can't remember exactly, but then, and again, see, and that is one of the examples, I think. Not subscribe. It's not that. For example, Mr. Beast, Am I following Mr. Beast? I don't even know, but I love to watch his videos. But I think it's like, I do follow, let's say, Russell Brunson. He's one of my mentors, and like, hey, I need more content from him. To me, it's like, I don't need more content from Mr. Beast, right? It's like, it's all about entertainment. I don't want it to be entertained because I'm more into the business, for example, right? So that girl talks about they're making the same mistake. And she said that, hey, if you start talking about this specific niche that you're in, and as soon as you start pivoting, people start, distrust you, that like they will just unfollow you, and then they're not into like following you or whatever. They're not interested in what you have to offer. So very important to know this is that, hey, if you wanted to talk about, and then also she gave really awesome example when she said, imagine you're talking to your friend. Imagine if you just talk about dispatching, and you're sitting at the Starbucks and talking about dispatching all day long, every day, right? You're talking about dispatching, dispatching, dispatching. And that relationship won't last long. Why? Well, what if the industry changes? What if people don't, they don't have the interest in trucking in general, or more specifically in dispatching? They don't, right? And they're not watching, and then you don't have anything to say to them, and then obviously your friend leaves you. But what if you talk to this friend, about business, about fashion, about this, about that, whatever, right? So you have, like, you're a multi-dimensional. You have a lot of perspectives, you have a lot of experiences, a lot of ideas. Why don't you share those ideas, right? So as soon as, like, when I start talking about dispatching, even on the weekends, 20, 30 people will be watching. As soon as you pivot the content and start talking about something else like YouTube, people will be, oh, okay, so he's now talking about the YouTube, right? Although this video will bring more people, and then they will come and say, oh, okay, so I want to start my YouTube channel. Oh, this is awesome, right? Let me watch what he's have to offer and say. And then, oh, wow, he's also teaching this and this. Oh, wow, I found this interesting. Let me watch these videos about independent freight dispatching, all of that stuff. So that was the number one mistake. And I definitely will avoid if I make a new channel, right? And then that channel talks about specific niche. Don't do that. So you have a life, you have experience, you have a lot to say. So one of my friends, he traveled the world. He's been in many, many countries. He have a lot of content, and he's like talking to me. And actually, this was one of the friends that I have that I was inspired to start talking about other things as well, because you're watching now, maybe you're interested in business, but at the same time you're interested in starting your YouTube channel. Maybe it's a vlogging, or maybe it's an entertainment, maybe it's X, Y, and Z, whatever. But then, and he said, hey, I travel the world, I have a lot of ideas. He had a vending machine business. He has e-commerce business, sells on Amazon. He has Amazon business, and he had a box truck. Now he got my training. He is dispatching. He had a lot to say, right? And if I would like, hey, if you want to start with dispatching, I mean the channel, start with dispatching. That's the wrong advice, right? It's he has to he has a lot of things to offer to the world with those ideas that he has, the experiences that he has, right? Basically, this channel then becomes more attractive to other people. More people will be interested in listening to you. Imagine, like, if I start talking about the import, export business, you'll be like, oh, wow, that's an awesome business. And then if I start sharing the pitfalls and sharing the marketing strategies, sharing how we started this business, how we made mistakes or how we made money, and then you will be like, oh wow, so I should avoid those mistakes. And then I start talking about the trucking company, how I started my trucking company. But if you specifically start talking about the mistakes that you made, like any business that you started, people will start, watching, and then you will get attention. But as soon as I start talking about independent freight dispatching, people will get confused. An example, see, when I look at the numbers of people watching, when I start watching about the YouTube, then YouTube starts, obviously pushing, and then I will see like 9 people watching, right? And poop, number pops up, and they're like, boom, it's like 10 people watching. And I'm like, as soon as I start pivoting, and I said, okay, if you're doing the dispatching and this, and then boom, that number decreases to like 3 or 2 or even 1 or even 0. And I've seen in the last, I don't know, hour or something, that's what I realized. It's very interesting when you pay attention to those numbers. It's like it tells you the story. Why? While you're talking, YouTube does the job, right? That the algorithm works, and you start listening when I start talking about the titles and thumbnails, because there are millions of people, hundreds of millions of people right now typing and searching for that content, and YouTube pushing this a live session to those people, and they're like, oh wow, this guy talks about let me take that down, there you go, and this person talks about YouTube channel. I'm starting a YouTube channel. See, as I said, YouTube channel. So from 2 people, now it's 4 people. See, now I'm talking about the YouTube channel. Now it's even 5. See that? Like, look at those numbers. You start talking about how to start a YouTube channel, how to grow your YouTube channel. As soon as you start talking about those, and YouTube will be like pushing your videos, your live session to more people. And then more people, meaning like 4 or 5 people will be watching. And if they watch, let's say for 2 to 3 minutes, then YouTube will push to more people. And then when they realize that, man, I don't think this live session will help me start and grow my YouTube channel, they will be watching other videos. They're gone forever. That's it, right? And then obviously, so when you start, as soon as you see that numbers of people start watching, and then as you can see, right, and 6 people watching right now, it's about YouTube, about, let's say, how to start a YouTube channel, and then they'll be watching and watching. As soon as you say dispatching, we're more into trucking, and then that number will start decreasing, because they don't know anything about dispatching, they don't know anything about independent freight dispatching. So very important to consider this. So don't make that mistake. One of the mistakes that I did is talking about the specific niche, trucking. Well, even more specific is independent freight dispatching. Some people may be interested, and now more and more people who are talking about independent freight dispatching, they have challenge getting more views. Views are decreased for 2 reasons. One is economy is down, right? It's not many carriers making money, and then they're posting content on YouTube. See, that number decreased already. So, and because of that, not many people interested in dispatching. Because of that, not many people interested in watching those videos. Now people more inclined towards watching entertainment videos, right? That's obviously very important to consider. And another reason, when you start talking about just dispatching, you're not allowed to, well, it's not physically you're not allowed, or there's like legal obligations or something. No, it's like in your head, like, hey, as soon as I start pivoting, then people will leave, right? Because this channel more specifically for for independent freight dispatching. So if I start new channel, what I would do, and this is something very important that I learned, is building not the brand channel, is the personal channel is very important. So why is that? Because personal brand is more important than the brand you have. Let's say Dispatch Trucks. Not many people know Dispatch Trucks. In fact, I'll give you an example. I was traveling last year. Actually, it's this year. Yeah, this year. So in last year and this year, more specifically this year, when I was traveling and attending like marketing events, whatnot, and then a lot of people, let's say, who were watching the videos, they're more into trucking and dispatching. They realize, and they come to me and say, "Hey, Dispatch Trucks, what's up?" Not many people know me by name, for example, but they know that we have Dispatch Trucks, and they're like, "Hey, Dispatch Trucks." And at one point, it's just like, there was an epiphany for me, meaning that there was an aha moment. Like, people know about Dispatch Trucks, right? But then, well, it's more specific because I was attending more specific, what is it? The marketing event, let's say, more specific for the trucking. And more specifically, there were a lot of dispatchers, and they know the Dispatch Trucks, but they don't know the personal like name, like, hey, Dispatch Trucks. Some people maybe know your name, but some people they don't. And there was an epiphany for me. It's like, oh wow, I'm building a brand the last 5 years, building this dispatch trucks. Maybe in the future, maybe I can build, I don't know, tools or something like that and attach to dispatch trucks so that, it helps for, it helps carriers and, dispatchers and brokers, obviously. So then what about the personal brand? Right? What if I don't want to do trucking anymore? What if I don't want to talk about dispatching anymore? What if I tired? What if I don't have interest about dispatching anymore? Then what will happen, right? So you're watching 10, 15 people, averaging, let's say 10 people watching, the live. How many people are interested in other things as well? How many of you, like, in my opinion, all of you interested in many, many other things than just specific like trucking. Like this person, right, has a lot of things to offer, a lot of things to share, a lot of ideas that I have, marketing ideas, sales ideas. I'm more into marketing and sales and business and entrepreneurship, right? So I have a lot of things to share, a lot of books and resources to share with you. But then since I built this channel more specifically for independent freight dispatching, and the best performing videos, as I said, is how-to videos. And as soon as you start posting other videos, it's like boom, those videos not getting views. Why? Because your subscribers, or let's say potential viewers, they're not interested in what you have to offer, because now your best performing videos are the load board videos. And now, okay, man, logically makes sense. Then why don't you do more of a load board videos, and then you get more videos? I'm like, okay, it's kind of rabbit hole, right? You just go and do more videos that works, and you get more people that are interested in independent freight dispatching. And you just like tired of just sharing load boards, and at some point you just hate to like look even at the load board. Although I'm looking at the load board all day long, at the same time I'm teaching, it's like, man, can I share something different? Can I share like business, let's say, strategies? Hey, what about, there are a lot of people in that marketing event. um, I remember one of the companies said that, hey, we're building our own software, and we know that you have a software called DispatchWise, we're interested. It was like, oh wow, there are a lot of people interested in the software, because I'm interested in software. I'm building a software myself, and I'm working with a team of people that are interested in software, interested in tracking, interested in marketing. I'm like, and I'm sitting here, I'm just talking about just dispatching, right? A lot of you, about 7 people are watching right now, they're interested in many, many things. Can I share those things with you? Like, are you interested in X, Y, and Z? If so, then I'm interested in X, Y, and Z too, right? So I was in the marketing event that not related to trucking, but it's a life-changing opportunity for all of us, maybe. But I don't share those with you. Why? Because this channel, it's not specifically designed for that. I can pivot. As soon as I start pivoting, people leave. So, and because of that, learn from my mistake or mistakes. Very, very important. If you want to start a YouTube channel, don't think specific niche. Don't niche down. Just talk about in general. You will attract a lot of people. Obviously, then from there, you will see that your subscribers, your people, or your followers, that they will be asking for help, saying, hey, can we talk about this? Hey, can we talk about that? A lot of dispatchers I know, one of the the creators that I have, that I known for many, many years, he started his channel with talking about the gaming, the box, what is the Xbox and the PS4, PS5, then comparing those, whatnot, the games in general. And then they switched into talking about the business now, right? So I had one person interested in fashion, then grow up to 100,000 subscribers, and then he hated, right? And he hated so much, then he just can't stand and talk about whatever the product he was talking to or promoting. And now he talks about the auto transport. Now he's fallen in love. But I think his passion was, cars. But he was talking about the fashion in a different way. So you get burnt out. He's like, that's it. Enough. 100,000 subscribers. Imagine it just left. And I think it makes couple grand per month, and they're just not posting, nothing like that. Sometimes he answer questions like comments or something like that. That's it. Now he's more into like cars, right? In general, he also has a trucking company where it moves auto transport. So, what is it? This shot says very interesting. Awesome. What we have, let me see. Anaya says, I'm a dispatcher from Pakistan. Why carriers don't want to work with Pakistani dispatchers like me? Even I'm honest person, but they don't trust. Can you tell me the reason? I'll do my best to say the reason, right? And then I'll do my best to basically help you, whatever the myths, maybe the misconception you have or misunderstanding you have. First of all, hello to Pakistani. I love Pakistan. I have a lot of friends that I, work with them. A lot of people help me build the websites and funnels. A lot of people, by the way, I know from DAT that specifically they from India, from Pakistan, from Bangladesh, working with these top companies in the US. So the reason why you're from Pakistan, let's remove the Pakistan in general. Don't just label one specific country and say people don't work with us. Although United States leverage a lot of tech support from these countries like Pakistan and then India. If you don't trust me, go do your research. DAT and a lot of tech companies out there, they leverage tech. Even Bank of America leverage tech support from India and then Pakistan. There are a lot of reasons for that, right? There are a lot of things to share with you. But I realized that there are some narrow-minded people that try to let's say attack the platforms, and these people usually came from these countries, right? And then why it happened, I have no idea what it happened, but then from small number of people, narrow-minded people, right, these, let's say, bad people, and it's actually hurt the entire, let's say, nation. I'm just giving an example, right? It hurt you, even although you are an honest person. And as I said, just today, I teamed up with one of the Pakistani. He is from Pakistan, and I also have another. For the YouTube thumbnails, I team up with the person. I think he's also from Pakistan. So see, it's not about honesty or dishonesty, but then there are some people that obviously destroyed the trust between, let's say, these like carriers and obviously what is it from people from Pakistan. Like these narrow-minded people actually hurt, and you got affected from this. But what can I say? It's not. I'm not Pakistani. I don't live in Pakistan, and I don't know. As I said, I work with Pakistani, meaning people from Pakistan. But then I don't have the reason why carriers don't want to work with Pakistani. I don't know, but I do know that there is a dispatching company. I think they're dispatching about 600 trucks or something like that. It's a Pakistani, company. This dispatchers, the back end office is actually in Pakistan, right? And then trucking company is in the U.S. And in the U.S., this what is it? This trucking company employs, as you can see, hundreds of people in the US, gives them the ability to work, earn money, and feed their families. Think about, in terms of abundance, but then from bottom of my heart, be honest with you, I know one reason that, these people from Pakistan and India, that, small number of people, narrow-minded people, heard, let's say, these tech companies, right? Somehow they try to attack or whatever, right? Data leakage or hacking or something like that, or system hacking. It's just like attacking the system. And that's where people started talking about those people. And then obviously it's, that's how we affected. Unfortunate, but it's true. So Ali says, how do I stay motivated to keep making videos when barely anybody watches my YouTube channel and it stops growing? Awesome, Ali. But here is the thing. You're asking great questions. Motivation is very important. But at the beginning of this live session, I said something very important. I said, listen, if you want to, if let's say you want to talk about how-to videos, and it's not you're basically pretending that you are this person. We're not even talking about the motivation. You can't even make videos. You can make one video, two videos, three videos, and then maybe 100 videos, and that's it. You will lost interest because it's not you, right? You can't just all day long lie to yourself that you know stuff, but you don't know stuff. As you can see, I talk this live session is not scripted. It's not even planned. I was like, hey, I'll just press record, and then it has to be a casual. And this is how people feel that, hey, this is like a conversation. Today's Sunday. We're relaxed. We're talking about something very important, YouTube. And I talk a lot because it's here. It's my experience. I'm talking about, as you can see, how I did this, how I made this, right? And then because of that, in your mind, what's happening? This is how I'm going to do that, right? And avoid this mistake that Kamal made. And I will do this. This is how I do this. Avoid or not doing this or doing this, for example, right? So stay motivated is when you have a passion. Okay, passion. This is where people get confused about, right? Well, my passion is this, my passion is that. You have a lot of passions, for example, but then one particular thing stands out. Well, my passion is entrepreneurship, business. How I know this? Well, first thing first, when I meet with my friends, we only talk about business. Even if I have non-business friends, let's say, let's say I'm in North Carolina visiting my friends, they're family people. They're more into security. They're more into employment. But we start talking about, business. And business is this, business is that, entrepreneurship. We can do that. We can do this, and we can, get this. We can earn money. This is how I live. We can buy this, buy that. Right? It's a human nature. So then I love to talk about business, and it motivates me to talk about business. YouTube is a business, right? YouTube brings business. YouTube, helps you build a relationship with other people. So that's how you know it's your passion. And a second thing, like what I watch, I usually 90% of the time, even as an entertainment, watch business related content, learning about the sales and marketing and whatnot. And some people just hate it. I have one of my cousins, he hates business so much, although he works for somebody. So what I mean by that, when I start talking about marketing, sales, is like, please don't. I don't like to hear those marketing because it's like he hates it, right? And he's more into, oh, I did this in, uh, at work. I talk to my coworker, and I'm like, please don't, because I'm not interested in 9 to 5. I'm not interested in employment, although I employ people. See how that works? So this is how you realize that, oh, okay, this is my passion. Travel is my passion. But then if I travel to, let's say, other country, and then how this relates, how am I going to stay motivated and talk about this passion, but at the same time travel? Well, then I travel for business purposes. When I travel for a business purposes, then I share that content with people. But I can't share that content with you because this content is specifically for this passion. See, this is where the channel will get more interesting when I just blend and I just mix a little bit of other content, this and that, and it's basically now we have more people that are interested in business, but maybe not specifically trucking, but maybe they can get excited about trucking or dispatching, whatnot. But then staying motivated, it's when you have a passion about something, right? So as you can see, it's almost 2 hours nonstop talking about business. This is a passion. And you just let other person talk about business. If it hates the business, let that my cousin talk about business for 5 minutes and say, I will give you a $500. You barely make it. because he doesn't like to talk about business. He hates it so much. Anything relates to business, the risk, the things, whatever. Like, he doesn't like the business and he can't make it. But I'm talking about, for I have a live session that is close to 4 hours. I'm just nonstop talking to people about marketing, sales, everything in between, entrepreneurship, the importance of a business, running a business, owning a business. That's how you know that it's your passion. When you make videos, it's your passion. Then staying motivated at the same time, let's say when you travel and you're like, hey, business owners, I am from, here or there, and then I'm running this business, but then I'm attending this marketing event. I think you guys will like it. Let me give you more insights, and boom, 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 right? And now you're more interested, and I'm like, oh wow, these people are interested in like what I have to offer, and this is basically my life, and you love talking about your business and then obviously your life, whatnot. But at the same time, you have to be careful that they need to learn. They, meaning your audience, they must learn something. That means when each time people land on your videos, they'll be like, hey, what's in it for me? It's not about you. They don't care about you, right? So in order to build a trust, it takes, I don't know, at least 6 months and at least 7 touch points, right? Or watched at least 7 videos of you, and oh, okay, I think this guy has something to offer, and I think, well, it's a good content, it's awesome, let's connect, let's follow, all that good stuff. Okay, so this shot says very interesting insight. It says true, absolutely. A lot of folks around the world misuse outsourcing. 100% agree. Now, this shot says, for Pakistani brother, maybe because of a bad market, trucking companies cost cutting. Okay, that's why it looks like they don't want to hire. Keep trying. You never know when the market, gets. Obviously, you have the second portion that when market becomes better. Yeah, awesome. You guys learning? Awesome. So what we have, and again, by the way, guys, a lot of information comes from this book, YouTube Formula by Daryl Eves. Awesome, awesome, awesome book. You will learn. Well, by the way, this book is not about like, oh, this is how I started my YouTube channel, or this is how I help, Mr. Beast. I help this or that. It's practical. Means it literally there. It's like, hey, do your YouTube channels this way, right? We did a research. See, this performed better than this, or we had a high click-through rate, and a lot of things that technical aspect we will learn. And this is why I didn't use those like terminologies like click-through rate or average view duration, or even, although I use here and there, but then I was like more specific to kind of help it should be easy for you to understand. Why? Is because when, for example, CPM, can't remember, is it click cost per mil? I think that's what it is. See, it's very hard to pronounce it. That's one thing. And another thing, like, you need to have the full understanding about like what you're talking about. So for example, I have the grip of a cost per mile, which is CPM, in trucking. I know exactly what it is and what it goes into cost per mile. There's like variable cost, and then there's a fixed cost, and you divide that at the divide by 10,000 miles driven, and that's how you have your cost per mile, for example, right? And then I think it calls a cost per mil or minute. That's what it is. So do you guys have any questions? We're good. We're good to go. So I usually, what I try to do, and then there's a reason, I think this is the point where we need to talk about the live sessions being more than 2 hours. I know there are a lot to think, a lot to share, and a lot to say in 2 hours. And obviously people get, tired or whatever. As Ali said, the motivation, right? How I, stay motivated. If you have your, people, and if you know what to say to them and what to share, and then obviously you will, talk about like 2 hours or even, 3 hours. As long as like these questions are coming, that there is an interest, and then people want you to share more insights. And we talked about like how to start a YouTube channel and these two categories. Like one category will be in educational content, the other one is the entertainment content. You need to blend those, things, and then find something in the middle, and that's where you have the real growth, the potential, right? It's there. So Road Savvy says, how do you deal with the negative comments or haters on your videos? Well, it's great when you start. Great questions, Road Savvy. How do I deal? It's, I think they're emotional people, and they're like strong. They control the emotions, and let's say there are two types of people when it comes to comments and haters. And I have a lot to share when it comes to this, specific question. There are two types of people. One, they control their emotions, right? They're like, I don't care, right? They control. Maybe those types of people. And then they're like emotional people. They're driven based on the results. Hey, if I post this video, if not performing them, that's it. And then obviously they easily get distracted by the comments and obviously the haters. The comments actually, it's under the, let's say, the video that you did, but you also get a lot of DMs, you get a lot of emails from haters. Be honest with you, I don't get a lot when it comes to like emailing. If the person on my email list, somehow they join my email list, and if I over deliver for some strange reasons, people don't like it, and then people start hating you. And most haters on YouTube, these are the people that actually help grow your YouTube channel. Here's why. When you post on YouTube, when people start, negatively commenting, if you have top fans or followers or subscribers, they will attack this person right away. And then the more they start commenting, and the more they start, interacting with each other, right? And then obviously for the algorithm is like, oh, there is an attraction and there is some interest going on, and then YouTube start posting, or promoting your video even more, and you get even more people, right? So I think this is one of the reasons why they have a like button and dislike button on YouTube channel. The reason why they have the dislike button is for the algorithm, right? So now the creator can see how many dislikes, for video or per video he has. Usually 90%, most of the time, you see positive results, meaning likes. This is how people want you. That there are a lot of people, 90% of the people, they like what you have to offer. And then obviously there are 10% of people that they just hate your content, right? And when I even just schedule a video, you will see that people will just like right away just dislike. I didn't even start talking, and for some reason this face or this channel annoys them, and then they'll be saying like, hey, I get a lot of things, you're not even teaching. What happening inside me, I'm laughing, be honest with you. First, when you see this, like, oh, like what do you mean by saying like you're not teaching? Well, I'm sharing something. If you're not teachable, what can I do for you, right? So a lot of people watching this and learning something from the experience. We learn from other people's experiences, right? Pitfalls and whatever the mistakes that they have. Hey, we want to avoid this. I'm sharing with with the world, and you're watching, and you're like, well, you're not teaching. Inside me, what the voice says, you're not teachable, right? And then second thing, man, if I'm not teaching, there are a lot of people teaching. Like, go in and watch the other content. But here is the trick. When this person actively wanted to type something, this person hates you. There is a time and energy goes into the hater. It's like, I must type and share this with the creator, right? Or with this person. You're not teaching. Your accent sucks. Whatever. Man, this is the US. Just deal, with it. That's it. We have millions of immigrants here in this country. They barely speak English, including myself. What can I do for you? English is my fourth language. So, it's very funny. Like, and how I deal, actually, to respond to your question, how I deal, I really want to change that perspective into, like, let's see if I can make a positive outcome from it. And I'm like, hey, if you say, I'm not saying that, hey, if you say that I'm not teaching, then hey, go back and watch that. I'm like, man, there are a lot of other videos that I have on my, YouTube channel that you can watch or something like that. If I see that, comment comes and says X, Y, and Z, and then this is where I just, ignore them. That's how I deal. What about emotionally? Emotion stays there for about a couple minutes and it's just gone. That's it. I think here is the deal, not reacting right away. It's thinking, like, from his or her perspective, or from that person's perspective. It's like, I'm watching my YouTube video and this person, and it thinks something, goes something, in that person's mind, and it goes actually typing or turning his, phone, and it just go to the comment section and start typing, you are not teaching, actively writing. That tells me that basically you don't like me, right? You don't like the way I teach. Well, if you like me, then you will like the way I teach. So if you don't like me, that means you don't like the way I teach. So that means is equals to you don't like me. So if you don't like me, then what can I do for you? Will fighting and saying bad things about you as well, so that people will see and like, oh wow, Kamal, you're not even professional, right? And then it's just like going down to his degree of viewing the world negatively. I can't allow myself to do that. I'll just basically ignore, right? And as I said, it's just like for a couple of minutes. It hurts, obviously. It gives you time to think about, am I teaching? Then you go on to that specific video and see how many subscribers this video brought, how many views this video got, how many likes I got, and how many comments I have. And I see, man, hundreds of views. I have hundreds of likes, let's say, and I have, I don't know, 50, 60 comments. And 90% of those comments, like, positive, saying thank you, or this is awesome, or can you make this, or can you make that? And then there's one person says that you don't know what to say, or I don't understand you. What can I do for you? If you don't understand me, just, I don't know. There are a lot of videos. Go and watch. And obviously competitors. There are a lot of people doing the exact same thing. And then if I say something that they don't do that, right? For example, I say, you must have an LLC, and another creator might say, no, you don't need an LLC. It kind of contradicts. And this is like, let me type and let me say bad things about this person. But to me, it's like I'm more into being a positive, okay, productive. Think in terms of like what I have to offer to the world. I want to build my business. I want to work with like-minded people. I want to attract like-minded people. For example, when I was promoting this live session, I emailed to my email list. And by the way, if you're not, on that list, you're missing a lot. There will be a startup guide. Just join the list. I share a lot of good stuff. So, and I see that, 4 people unsubscribed, right? So some people might see on that list and say, well, I'm delivering something value to them. I'm like, hey, how to start a YouTube channel for truckers so that you can, get potential clients using this platform. And 4 people unsubscribe. And if you're like that emotional people, you'll be looking at those numbers and like, why am I doing wrong, right? But instead, to me, it's like, it's actually a good thing that they left me. Why? Well, because they're not interested working with me. They're not interested in connecting with me, and I really want them to leave, right? Like, I email about 90 days, give it or take, we email to our list saying, hey, if you're not interested in whatever we have to offer or share with you, just you can leave now, unsubscribe. Here's the link. There you go. Click unsubscribe, and that's it, right? So another thing was, I posted 4 videos. Important, there was a sequence. There was a list of videos that I shared with the list, the email list that I have. And then these people that are interested in business, more specifically trucking business, right? Even more specifically, how to become independent freight dispatchers. And I shared one video, and then 4 hours later, I shared another video, give them some time to watch that video. And I shared second video, and on third video, there's a personal. Don't email me. Don't do that. Why are you just blasting with emails? I'm like, man, there are thousands of people on my list, and you're the only one. Like, you don't like the content that I produce. You just like click on subscribe. Here's the link. You can, you won't be able to receive any more emails from me. So that being said, coming back to the Road Savvy's question, how do I deal with negative comments or haters on my YouTube videos? The first thing first, if it's really bad one, it's actually, it's filtered by YouTube. So I can read those, but then it's filtered, but publicly it's not available because there's like some keywords, right? So F words or something like that. So it's filtered. And what I do with those people is just like, removing from the channel. That means I hide my channel from them, and then they won't be able to find my channel. So there are a lot of things that YouTube doing right now. So if there is like, hey, this person can have another channel or another username or whatever, and then with an API, I mean what is it? API, other stuff, technical stuff that they have is that they won't be able to see it if even they have new account. That's basically how I deal. I just ignore them. If it's moderately acceptable, let's say, this is where people like, hey, you have an accent, for example. I might say something funny to them and then change the perspective of this. But if there's like really, as I said, like F words and people using like bad language and try to kind of show the negativity that they have, to me it's like, be honest with you, man, why? It's not easy to kind of think how they think because you're not them. Logically makes sense, but to me it's like, hey, the person shares content with you, person shares something important with you, that's he's trying to deliver the value to you. You either take it or you just like use it or lose it, right? But then there are some people they really like. It's unfortunate for them. It's like they behind, I don't know, incognito mode, right? And they think that, hey, nobody sees him, and he's like, let me talk bad things about this person. That's how I deal. It's just ignore them, as I said, guys. It's been awesome for about 2 hours now. If you guys have the question, but I think the overall, what we need to learn from this live session is just press record, start YouTube channel right after this live session. Next live session will be on Thursday, 2 p.m. Just come and join us, and in the comments saying, hey, I have a YouTube channel. Imagine close to 60,000. We could have surpassed, let's say, easily 100,000, subscribers. But then, as I said, for 2 years, I think we took a break. We posted here and there, but then we weren't active for 2 years, almost 2.5 years, right? So I had this momentum. If I just kept going, we could have easily passed hundreds of thousands of subscribers, if thinking in terms of subscribers, obviously. But it's just, everything boils down to what I realized over the years. It's just like, hey, if you wanted to do something, you just do it now or it's never. But we had all of this. And even starting this year, I was talking to my team and talking to my family. And I said, for this year, starting January, right? It's the first week of January. I will do this, that. And the list goes on and on and on. And 90% of those, it's incomplete. It's still there. Why? Well, we motivated, ourselves, this new year resolution, what it calls, right? Then I didn't take any action on those, and I specifically focused on a couple of things, and that's it. So if you wanted to start a YouTube channel, you start either today or never. So if you start YouTube channel today, within a year, I promise you, within a year, if you just follow the tactics that I shared with you, right? There's educational channels, and then there's a entertainment channel. You just blend those things and find something important, right? Don't be specific when it comes to niche. Start talking about what you have to offer to the world, your experiences, your ideas, anything like that. And obviously the skills you have, the strategies, or anything that you're interested in, start talking. And from there, you can pivot. You will see that, hey, a lot of people are interested in specific aspect of your life, and you just expand from there. And you will see it will be much, much easier to grow a YouTube channel, but at the same time will be fun to running a business using YouTube channel. Guys, thank you so much. I'll see you on the Thursday. And then I do have something amazing to share with you. And don't forget to pick up this book. It's an awesome book, YouTube Formula. I may include the link, the Amazon link, that you can just easily go and pick it up. Well, thank you so much for all of your questions. I'll see you next week on Thursday. Bye.